Yo, what it do? How's your mama? How's your family? Today I want to talk about the truth about Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. Not really just Ilia Topuria versus Makhachev, but really Ilia Topuria at 170. Because Ilia Topuria at welterweight, I don't think people are truly analyzing how almost ridiculous that is. Although we see the kind of KO power he possesses, the one-punch knockout power at 155 he possesses. But we have to talk about it. And frame matters. Islam Makhachev is a guy that we saw move up to 170. But at 155, we always said, wow, that's a welterweight. He could be a welterweight. He'll be very, very healthy at welterweight. He'll probably be his best at welterweight, his healthiest, his most in shape, the best recovery. At a welterweight, frame matters. He has a huge frame while only being 5'11", with a 70-inch reach. Excuse me. Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev is probably the best matchup for Ilia at that weight class. Now, I'm not saying as far as skill set wise, but I mean size wise, because if we're being honest, Islam Makhachev is on the smaller side of welterweight. His frame, he has a great frame. He's built, but as far as size, he's on the smaller side of the welterweight. It's not saying he's a small welterweight, but he's a real welterweight. The welterweights nowadays are actual middleweights. Michael Morales was 200 pounds. Against Sean Brady was 200 pounds. Islam Makhachev got up to about 185, allegedly. That's what the reports say. And we could say lighter man's skill, for sure. But I'm looking at Ilia Topuria. He's 5'7", with a 69-inch reach advantage. Crazy power, we understand this. But he's 5'7". And he's a featherweight. Islam Makhachev is not a featherweight. You see what I'm saying? So this is a two-weight jump. This is insane. Islam's 5'10", okay? 3 inches taller. Probably closer to 5'11". And he's on the smaller side of welterweight. You have to understand what I'm trying to get at. We saw Islam move up, right? You can say lighter man skill. Islam, lighter man skill, moved up to 155. Moved up from 155 to 170. Dominated Jack. Looked strong. Looked healthy. Very, very strong. And that's Jack Della Maddalena, welterweight. Right? He's on the smaller side of welterweight as well, but he's a welterweight. He's a real welterweight. He's not a middleweight. He's a welterweight fighting at welterweight. Dominated. It wasn't close. Jack Della Maddalena much bigger than Islam. Jack Della Maddalena has shown he can scramble. He can get up to his feet even if he is taken down. He couldn't get up. He couldn't do anything. Now, he survived. He survived all the submission attempts that Islam Makhachev was attempting submission attempts. He was submission arm locks and Kimuras. He was attempting guillotines. He was attempting anacondas and darces. Jack Della Maddalena, he wasn't giving it up. Size matters. Now, ironically, this was the same night as Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. Let me just tie it together. Zhang Weili looked small out there. She didn't look like she was technically and skillfully at a disadvantage. Maybe she was slightly, but not the way the fight played out, a 50-45 domination. She looked small. Zhang Weili, a girl who Tatiana Suarez, one of the best wrestlers in that strawweight division, mauling girls, taking girls down. Zhang Weili out-grappled her, out-wrestled her. When Zhang Weili got on her back against Valentina Shevchenko, she couldn't do anything. She was too small. And that is a one-weight class jump. But Valentina Shevchenko was a bantamweight at one point in time. She's a big girl. Much bigger than Zhang Weili. Much longer than Zhang Weili. And when Zhang Weili got on her back, it was over. Because Valentina Shevchenko was able to gauge that range. Now, this is women, but just understand what I'm saying. She was able to stay all the way out. And whenever you came all the way in, clinch, we're going to the ground. Zhang Weili had nowhere she could have any success. Because she was short. Her arms were short. It's tough. Now, let's look at the other guys in welterweight. Exhibit A, we have Michael Morales, who's number 3, looking like a tank. Huge at welterweight. That's a middleweight. Just happened to be fighting at welterweight. He's listed at 6 foot. Incorrect. This is him standing in front of 6'4", Neil Magny. So he's 6'3" at the shortest. And he's fucking huge. He's a tank. 200 pounds on fight night. You can't look at me with a straight face and tell me Ilia Topuria is getting up to 200 pounds without having an accessible amount of body fat on him. Without not being in shape and being in true fight form. His body's not going to be used to that. We're talking about 200 pounds. Now, Islam Makhachev, first fight at welterweight, he was 185 pounds. He's going to continue to get bigger. Ilia Topuria already talked about how he didn't really cut weight. He didn't really put that much weight on. He just didn't cut weight to fight Charles Oliveira. That's huge. That's insane. Exhibit B, Ian Gary. Ian Gary's 6'3". 6'3", the 74-inch reach. Ilia Topuria is 5'7". You're not understanding what I'm saying. 5'7". That's 8 inches, pause. That's 8 inches that Ian Gary will have on him. That's insane kicks. That's insane range. Shavkat Rakhmonov is listed at 6'1". Incorrect. This is him right in front of Ian Gary. Same height. He's 6'2", 6'3", with a 77-inch reach. 10 each reach advantage. With another 7 to 8 inches height advantage. And he's durable, and he's big, and he's going to be 200 pounds in a cage. And he's strong, and he could grab you, and he could smush you. That's insane. When you really think about it that way, as great as Ilia Topuria is, it's like Zhang Weili, as great as they are, it does get to a point where size does matter. And Ilia Topuria's frame isn't big enough to be a real welterweight and be at his best. His best is 155. That's his best. He's the healthiest. He's not cutting much weight. He's still explosive, fast, still dangerous, still has the power to hurt guys. Finish guys. Get him out of there. This is a different level. This is a much, much different level. And it's going to be very, very interesting because I'm questioning Islam Makhachev whenever he goes up against somebody like Rakhmonov, who Islam Makhachev is a better fighter. But Rakhmonov is fucking huge. And he can grapple. And he can stand his base. And he is durable. And he can come forward and cause a car crash. What happens? What happens when he fights these taller and longer guys? Because Islam Makhachev, his whole career, has been the longer guy for the most part. Has been a longer guy, able to stay on the outside, avoid chaos, avoid damage. Now Islam Makhachev is going to have to close the distance against these guys at welterweight. It's different. It's different. And we're going to have to see that. Analyze this. Not from a tit-for-tat X's and O's battle. Just analyze this. Carlos Prates, who is 6'3", with insanely long arms, and the death touch at 170 his damn self. Against Ilia Topuria, who's 5'7", with a 69-inch reach. Carlos Prates will keep range the entire time. Knees, teep kicks, long left hands. Ilia Topuria will have to chase Carlos Prates, who's 8 inches taller than him. Much bigger than him. It's not like Ilia's going to be able to just take Carlos Prates down. Carlos Prates is defending great wrestlers. I'm not going to say great, but really good wrestlers at welterweight. Relatively easily. This isn't a X's and O's type of breakdown. This is me really just trying to tell you, let's really think about this logically. Islam Makhachev at 155 didn't want to fight the little guy. He didn't want to fight the 45er. Now at 170, he's welcoming the challenge. Why do you think that? Because he knows Ilia's too small. Ilia's too small. And I don't want to sound like a downer, a party pooper. I was pissed when Jack Della Maddalena, as much as I love Jack Della Maddalena and I love Jack Della Maddalena, I was pissed when he beat Bilal because I realized this fight was done. It was off the table. It's off the table as far as what it could be. The best it could be at 155. Both guys around the same weight. It's different. It's different. You're going to have Ilia Topuria who's 175-ish, with a lot of body fat on him, a bit out of shape. His frame's not going to carry the weight well against a ripped, shredded, in the best shape of his life, Islam Makhachev, who's probably at 190 now, 193-ish on that fight night. I don't see how Islam Makhachev doesn't grab a hold of him and hold him down for 25 minutes. And it's cool to think about, but if Ilia lands, oh well. If Ilia lands. Because the thing about Makhachev, you can't plant your feet. The minute you plant your feet, I'm on your legs, I'm taking you down. I'm chopping your low leg. I'm chopping your low kick against these boxers. These boxers can't fuck with Islam. None of those boxers that Islam has fought has had the death touch like Ilia Topuria, but we don't know what that death touch looks like at 170. We don't. 15 pounds, that's a huge jump. We don't. Now, it transitions from 45 to 55 seamlessly. But it's a different level at welterweight. These guys are huge. These guys are big. Ilia Topuria's not going to be able to get a rhythm. Ilia Topuria's not going to be able to let his hands go, because the moment you plant your feet and Islam's done moving around the outside of the cage, I'm taking you down. I'm on your legs. Or the minute you close in, I'm clinching, I'm creating a car crash, I'm tripping you, and we're going to my round. Even though Ilia Topuria is good on the ground, so is Zhang Weili. If I'm 15 pounds heavier than you, oh the fuck well. If I'm much bigger than you, my frame's much bigger than you, oh for fuck well. So I think we have to think logically about this fight. Let me know what you guys think about this food for thought that I'm trying to give you. Because the idea of it, the name value, the build up, the hype, the draw, it would be insane. It'd be one of the biggest fights in UFC history. But on fight night, when we finally see them get in the cage, it's going to be like, oh, damn. That's tough. I don't think Ilia Topuria should move up to 170. That's my take. Like, comment, subscribe, share this to somebody I know that enjoys like you did. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here, man. Yay.